So I want to thank everyone for coming today. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Cuso challenge. I'm sharing my screen with you right now, so you see what I see. Everyone is muted at the moment as well. So if you do have a question or you'd like to chime in with a comment or a suggestion, please do so. You can put those in the questions box. And the questions box is in your control panel. And the control panel can be found by clicking the blue flower looking icon in your toolbar, and the panel will come up and you can ask a question there. So I'll be monitoring those questions as we go along today. And I'm also recording the webinar today, so I will just be able to distribute that to people as well. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am. My name's Amy Gibson. I'm the fundraising officer here at Cuso International. I've been with Cuso for 3 years, and I actually did the Cuso challenge last year. I went to, well, it was 2018 actually. I went, yeah, that was last year, in October of 2018 to Machu Picchu and had an amazing time. It was just a really, really special time. So I'm excited to talk to you more about that today. I am helping to coordinate this trek for Cuso this year. If you have any questions about the trip, about what it's like, or anything along any of those lines about the fundraising requirement or the cost or what it's like, I'm happy to share not only my experience but the information that I have. I'm also going to be joined today by Mark Berlin, who is with Charity Challenge, and they're really our tour operator. They're handling all the details of the trip. So we'll hear from Mark and we'll have lots of details about what the challenge is all about and what it involves. And then we're also going to hear from Kate today, and Kate is another participant that joined us in 2018, and she trekked with me and we had a real blast. So we're going to have a chance to talk to Kate today. Oh, and I forgot to put up my little arrows. There is me, the one in the middle, and then Kate is actually beside me in the sunglasses. So that gives you a sense of who we are. That's us in the Sacred Valley before we started our trek. So this is really the before picture. I didn't include an after picture, but you'll see some photos as we go along. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about who Cuso International is. Does anybody know Cuso International? I know we have some alumni on the call as well, which is wonderful. If there's anybody who's brand new to Cuso, I'd love to hear that too. You can type that in the questions. So Cuso's been around since 1961, and we've been working to reduce poverty and inequality through our volunteer placements, the partners that we work with in country, and of course donors and supporters of our work. And each year we send hundreds of volunteers, professionals that have specific skills to work side by side with local partners and really eradicate poverty and inequality around the world. And that's really our mission. There's a really nice quote there that says, "It's a wonderful opportunity to change yourself while raising money and awareness for this great organization." And I can say that this challenge really is not only a personal challenge, but it's a fundraising opportunity for Cuso International, and that's really important for us as a charity. We've been working in Peru for a long time, working with local partners in the Andean region. And when you join the challenge, you actually get to go on a side trip, a day trip to one of our projects. And the photos on the screen there are actually from the project that we went to visit last year. It was really amazing. It was a women's ecotourism cooperative where we got to see how they dye alpaca wool and weave it. And we talked about their local culture and the foods that they eat and the farming, and sort of the region that they lived in was quite rural. And so really through the support of this challenge, through the fundraising that gets generated from this challenge, it really goes into supporting women and youth and girls in Peru and really promoting that economic development and strengthening the Andean way of life and like I said, we had a great opportunity to see that face to face, and I think that's something that really adds a lot of value to this trip. And I love Kate's quote there that says, "It was great to see the real human impact of Cuso's work," which I think kind of brings it all together and makes the trip even more meaningful in that you get to see the work that you're helping. Like I said, not only a personal challenge for yourself to hike for 5 days, but you actually get to see the benefits of that towards Cuso International. So um, that's a little bit about our work. So let's talk about the challenge itself. So the challenge is something that Cuso International puts on with Charity Challenge, and it involves trekking and camping and exploring, and of course learning and sharing with each other through this whole experience. It's a 9-day adventure, March 27th to April 4th, 2020, and we start our journey in Cusco, Peru, and then we end up hiking for 5 days, and then we end up seeing Machu Picchu as the kind of crowning jewel on the top of this amazing adventure that that we get to go on. So, like I said, it's a personal challenge. It's a really important fundraising opportunity for us, and you can join at any point now. Our registration is open, and we do have an early bird discount on right now, which I'm going to talk more about, but you can get $200 off your registration at the moment. So it's time to sort of seize that and you know, get in early so that you can take advantage of that. Here's another really good quote from Sandy. It says, "It's a remarkable personal opportunity to see a different part of the world and explore another culture, all while engaged in supporting a very worthy organization." And Sandy actually went with her daughter, and it was a really, really beautiful story that they went together so that they could spend more time together, and it was awesome. They're a beautiful pair, beautiful family that were able to do it together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw it over to Mark, and Mark is going to give us a rundown of the challenge and a little bit more detail. Let me just change the presenter. Here we go. Are you there, Mark?
Hey, how you doing? Yes, I am.
Awesome. So there is a little bit of a delay, just to warn people. We do have a bit of a delay between us. So I'm in Ottawa, Mark is in the Toronto area, and Kate is in Montreal. So we're all across the board here.
Let me know when you can see the screen. There is a good delay. I can see that. I just got the invite here a second ago.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's taking its time there. Still nothing?
Oh, okay.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can show my screen. See if that works.
I can see yours.
Okay, so let me try that again. Mark is the panelist. Make Mark presenter.
Show my screen.
There we go.
Amazing. Okay, so you can see it okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to try to kind of whip through this fairly quickly, omitting some of the detail because I'd like to leave more time at the end for questions and answers. I think I do find, and Amy, you'll probably agree, the most benefit really is through the questions and answers at the end. So I'm just going to give a very brief overview of the challenge, but please know that if you have questions, you can ask them after the presentation here, or you can feel free to email me or speak with Amy. Both of us have done this event. I've done it multiple times, and I'm sure that if there's a question that we're unable to answer, which is unlikely, we could get an answer within a day or so at the very most. Okay, so charity challenge started back in '99. So we've been doing this for a little over 20 years. We do run now. It's actually quite a bit more than 120 challenges a year in over 30 countries. So this is all we do every day, and I'd like to say I think we do it very well. The highlights of this particular challenge, it's a 9-day challenge. There's 5 days of trekking. You do visit Cusco at the very beginning and end, and of course the prize, Machu Picchu, there towards the end of the challenge itself. Very quickly, this is just a very sort of non-detailed map, I guess I should say, of what you're going to be doing. So you will start on day 4. You'll be driven to Perpetu, where you start your trek, and you'll trek for the majority of the day. I want to say the drive is about 3 hours or so, 4 hours depending. So it's not a full day of trekking, but it's still a decent first day. It's a good warm-up. And you'll trek up to Chilapacua, where you'll camp for the night. The next day is a whole day of trekking, where you'll camp at Ancascocha. And then the following day of trekking, you end up just outside of a town called Ollantaytambo, a beautiful little town. And that's where you'll camp at Camacancha for that night. The next morning, which would be the morning of day 7, you'll be trekking on the Inca Trail. You'll arrive at the Sun Gate, and from there you'll be walked down to the ruins, where you won't stay for very long. You'll actually leave quite quickly because it's the end of the day. But you stay in a hotel at the town below Machu Picchu. The town's called Aguas Calientes. Again, a beautiful little town. The scenery is fantastic. And you stay in a hotel that night. You have a nice restaurant meal with the group. And the next morning you come back. So the morning of day 8, you come back to the ruins for a full tour. I think we were there for a little over 2.5 hours or so. You have time to explore on your own, and then that afternoon you get on a train and you start your journey back to Cusco, where you have a celebration dinner that night. You stay in your hotel, and then the next day, day 9, you depart for home or wherever it is that you're heading off to. I didn't mention, so you arrive obviously on day 1. We really try to take it easy with everybody on the first day, because you will feel the altitude when you arrive in Cusco. So we do a very slow walking tour around the city. A lot of history there, a lot of very old buildings. Again, just a beautiful place, beautiful people, fantastic food. And the second day you will do an acclimatization walk. And then you'll do your project visit, and then you'll start where on the map here where I started at Perpetu. So a typical day would be while trekking, you wake up around, I don't know, 6:30 or so. They come to your tent, they wake you up, and they let you know that breakfast is being prepared. You just get your things together. You don't have to worry about setting up tents or taking them down. All that stuff's done for you. The thermarests that they supply, they inflate and deflate for you. You simply just get up, grab your stuff, have some breakfast, get some snacks, fill up on water, and then you start your trek probably around 8 o'clock or so, depending on the speed of the group. You would trek through until lunch, where they would actually tear down all the kitchen material, pots, pans, tents, all that stuff. They manage somehow to get ahead of you while trekking. They set all that up at lunch, and when you get to lunch, you have a nice cooked lunch where you have access to your main bag that is ported for you. So during the day, you're only carrying a little day pack. You can offload sweaters and jackets that you may have had first thing in the morning into that bag. After lunch, you would continue on trekking to your final spot, your final camping spot for the day. And again, you get there, your tents are set up, thermarests are set up, they're preparing dinner. They'll greet you with tea and coffee and hot chocolate and some snacks and things like that. When I was there, they also brought a big bowl of warm water to your tent, so if you wanted to wash or soak your feet. you could feel free to do that. And then the next day it is repeat. So that's your typical day. The staff are fantastic. In this picture here, actually, the guy in the middle is George. He's one of the senior lead guides. They're invaluable. They really are there to pick up your spirits. They're very knowledgeable about the history, the people, the culture, and you learn so much by trekking with them. And they actually will double as they're certified tour guides for Machu Picchu. So when you come back the morning of day 8, that's who your guide is, who you've been with the whole time. So there's a comfort level you've established. You can ask questions and not feel weird or uncomfortable. So it's quite nice. Accommodation is a 3-star hotel in Cusco. The same in Aguascalientes, and then obviously camping throughout. After Aguascalientes, you come back to Cusco to the same hotel. I believe it'll be the same hotel we usually use. Depends on availability. It's a nice boutique hotel, very clean, very quaint, and nicely located. Food and drink. We do cater to vegetarian, vegan. If you have food allergies or diet requirements, we can usually cater to just about anything. You just have to let us know. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be included every day. I believe on the first day you get there, it's just lunch and dinner. And on the last day of departing, day 9, it's just breakfast. Otherwise, everything else is included. All water during the challenge is included. Anything else you'd like to purchase, you're more than welcome to. You will have the opportunity in town to buy snacks and drinks and things like that. And I do believe on occasion at camp, most occasion actually at camp, some of the locals will come out and they'll lay out a large tarp filled with, handmade alpaca wool, scarves and gloves and socks and, purses and things like that. And as well, when they go into town, they'll buy Snickers bars, Gatorade, Coca-Cola, things like that, and they'll sell them to you there if you like. But it's very, very, it's non-obtrusive. Like they just sit there very quietly. They won't come over to you. You need to go over to them. So it's quite nice. Training and fundraising. It is a tough rated challenge, which means really in this case, it's tough because of the altitude. It is essentially a trek. You're trekking. The terrain itself is not all that complicated or difficult. There's nothing technical about it. The altitude is what makes this challenge what it is, which is tough. So for training, I usually recommend people to work on cardio mainly, and what we call start and stops. So you're gonna train. You're gonna get your heart rate up to a safe level, and then you're gonna stop and let it recuperate. Usually, you'll stop for maybe 5 minutes, and then start exercising again. And what you're doing is you're training your heart to recover quickly, because while we're trekking, we're going to stop quite often throughout the day for water breaks or just a 10-minute break here and there. And what you want in that 10 minutes is your heart to come back to a nice regular sinus rhythm, nice and mellow, so you're ready to start trekking again. Fundraising, usually we leave the details of fundraising to the charity, but you'll have likely fundraising pages, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, but supplied by Cuso. We are here to help if you have questions about fundraising. We've seen just about everything under the sun that people have tried, things that have worked and things that have not worked. So we're more than happy to share ideas with you that we've seen people use very successfully. Pre-tour administration. So you do get a members area on our website. That members area is basically filled with information that you're going to need regarding questions and answers, fact file, itinerary, insurance, you name it, it's in there. And we are literally here for anything you need. You need something, you pick up the phone, you give us a shout, and we're happy to help you. I always say to people, people always apologize. Oh, sorry for this question. That's what I'm here for. That's my whole job. So the more questions I get, the better. If you need to ask me 4 questions throughout the course of a day, I'm perfectly happy with that. So please feel free. Everything is included from the time you get to the hotel in Cusco, and from the time that you depart. All transfers starting after your hotel. Usually you'd get yourself to the hotel from the airport. It's about a 5-minute cab ride. It's very safe. All the cabs that are in the airport area are specifically selected. So all your food and drink, your accommodation, your park pass, your Inca Trail pass, your Machu Picchu pass, there's bus passes, train passes, all that stuff's going to be included. Tips will not be included, obviously. Purchasing gifts and souvenirs, that's going to be on you. And as I said before, any food or drink outside of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and water would be you be responsible for. So more or less, I just wanted to say that that was a very, very, very quick run through of the challenge, but I know that we wanted to leave lots of time for questions at the end. And I did want to say, I just saw that Kate, who was on the trip last year, said that in every place they stopped for camp, locals came out with things that they had made and food and drink and stuff like that for you to purchase. So that's great. Thanks, Kate, for letting me know. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Like I said, I whipped through that very quickly. I am here. If you have more questions, feel free to ask away. Amy, please feel free to share my email address with anyone, and I'm happy to help out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send a follow-up email after this presentation, and I'll include your email and your contact info and all of that, along with the recording of the webinar, so everyone will have access to that. That's great. Thanks, Mark, for that. I think that's really gives a really good overview of what to expect. I want to throw it over to Kate now, and I want to, let's see, I have some photos of Kate just to like embarrass you. Hopefully not embarrass you, but I wanted to have a chat with you. And are you with us, Kate? I wonder if you're unmuted. Yes, you're speaking. Okay, I don't hear you. Let's see if I can make you a presenter. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Oh, good. Hi.
Great. I'm so glad. Thank you for joining today. I think people are going to get a lot out of hearing from your experience.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So like I said, Kate's in just outside Montreal, and Kate works for Randstad, and she was able to take time away and come on the trip with us in 2018. And you can see I picked some of the best photos, and I wanted to give a sense of what it was like and that kind of thing. I have a really good question that just came in that I wanted to answer. How many kilometers typically per day? It's a good question. I think we usually did around 10 kilometers. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think because at the most, I think we walked 40 or something.
Total, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's
it's
just that
about,
you go up and you go down, so it seems a bit longer in terms of kilometers, but in reality, it's not that long.
exactly. And of
And
course you're
you know
going
what?
slow.
I just add something really quick about that. On the itinerary, we actually don't include. This is the only itinerary where we don't include your kilometers per day. And it's because people will look at that and think, oh, that's it? 10 kilometers and it takes 8 hours or 7 hours? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's because you're walking very slowly. With the altitude, everything slows down. So 10 kilometers at your altitude that you'll be there is very different than 10 kilometers here. So just try to keep that in mind that although 10 kilometers may seem really short to cover in a day of trekking, it's not when you're at altitude. That's all.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for saying that, Mark. That yeah, that perfectly articulates what it was like. Definitely going slow and going at your own pace for sure. So, Kate, I wanted to ask you, what motivated you to want to do the challenge in the first place?
At first, I wanted to, since Randstad is a partner of Cuso, I wanted to join by doing the 3 or 6 months volunteer, but I couldn't. So I enrolled to the Cuso International newsletter, and one day I received the Peru trek, and I was like, 10 days, I can do this. Everyone can do this. So I enrolled. I did the webinar and then I enrolled. So I really wanted to participate to something with Cuso. So for me, that was the easiest part at that time in my life. So I was like, 10 days, I can see what Cuso is, what really Cuso is, and then it just make it worse afterwards because you want to do more, and then now I want to go 6 months or yeah.
Well, it's a good way to dip your toe into it and see what it's like and kind of have a personal experience, but then also know that yeah, you're get to see what the projects are that we're working on and that kind of thing. So that's yeah, I think that's not uncommon. You know, people think, oh well, I'm not able to go for a volunteer placement. You know, we send volunteers all around the world, but those placements tend to be a little bit longer. So being able to go on a 10-day trip, yeah, I can see how that would be a little bit more manageable for people um, to take on.
And it's a great way to take your vacation. So
True, this is true, and it really is one of those bucket list things where people,
yeah.
say they want to do it because it's just like a really special thing to do.
hmm
Yeah.
And to do it with charity challenge, it's very organized. You know where you know every day what you're gonna do, what to expect. So there's no surprises. You know day by day, of course. And sometimes they say that it's gonna be a very gentle hill, but it's not. You don't have to be afraid. Everything is doable for everyone. We had a very special group from younger people to older people, and everyone got to Machu Picchu. So
That's right. Everyone completed it, and everyone was so very supportive too, which I think was really special in that we all kind of helped each other and supported each other along the way. And no matter, what phase of your life you're in, we all were there to have the same kind of experience and achieve the same goal. And I think that really kind of brought us all together.
yeah, because the group was very we had all the same values. So we merge into one another so like
Hmm.
perfectly. Everyone bonded so well, and we help each other. And along the trip, you talk to so many different people that's gonna help you day by day on different
Hmm.
days or different time of the day.
That's right. That's right. Someone's managing quite well and has lots of energy, and then maybe you're in a slump and that person helps you along, and then maybe you're having an energetic day or a good time, and then you're able to bring other people along and boost them up too. So it really, you do end up working as a team and being really and like you said, really learning new things from other people, learning about their
Yeah,
lives and what uh, their motivations are for doing it too.
yeah, exactly. And every day, like everybody brings something new. So everyone helps each other. It's so nice. When you're a bit tired, you go in the middle of the group. And if you're very tired, you go in the back of the group. And then you can go up and you can talk to everyone. Even the people of Charity Challenge, they're so open. They're
Hmm.
so helpful. They're gonna speak to you. They're gonna go faster if you wanna go faster. This I know. So they're gonna help you along the way. Everybody's going there for the same goal, and it's very a team effort.
Hmm.
At the end, it's
Definitely.
very a team effort.
Yeah, totally. So, what was your experience like? What were your highlights and your challenges?
My first challenges was that they lost my luggage on my first day, but everyone was so helpful when I got there. They cheered me up. I was so tired, but everyone was like, "Everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it." And I just end up like going through the first 2 days with the same clothes and all, but everybody bonded so fast. It makes my first challenge so easy to pass. And then I'm asthmatic, so my first, well, my fear was to not be able to go up and up and up and up, and not to be able to complete my trip. But with the team spirit, as I said before, it really helped me, and with the team and with the scenery of the place, every place that where you sleep, when you wake up, I mean, every challenges end up to be something very good. So every challenges became something positive at the end.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. So what was the yeah, the I wholeheartedly agree with all of that. I think you were such a trooper. I think it's also about your attitude going into this is that you really were like rolling with the punches even though you had, some challenges up front. You handled it very gracefully and I think your attitude towards it really does um make the trip. It makes it what your attitude is. So that certainly helps a lot.
Yeah, because the hardest thing was to get through this, but I mean, I was there to have fun. So I just wanted to roll with it and enjoy everything. And I mean, I jumped in every day of it. Even with the fundraising part, I was so lucky. I had a lot of help of my colleagues in at my workplace, my family, friends of my family. Uh, at the end, it was a big challenge, a big challenge when you see it from by far.
Hmm.
But at the end, I'm like, oh my God, I would do it like yesterday.
Yeah. That's my next question is how was your fundraising experience? So it sounds like you were very well supported and you used our online fundraising page and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I used the page, but at first I sat down and I thought, okay, why I'm doing it. So I wrote and I wrote, and then I was then in my front page I talked about Cuso, why I wanted to do it for Cuso,
mhm,
and then I was like just saying what this experience gonna bring me,
mhm,
and I used the page. I opened a Facebook page, an Instagram page. I have a graphic designer friend who made me a pencil case, iPhone cases, a book to use at work. Um, I did harassment at my work with my colleagues.
peer pressure.
Yeah, everyone helped, everyone chip in. We had a pot of change, so everyone, at the end of the day, they had to put their change in it.
Oh,
Yeah, so I had a lot of help. My dad works in the pharmacy industry, so every pharmacist he knows helped me. They chip in. Yeah, you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it
yes.
so much. I was so annoying, but at the end, everyone was so happy when I got there because for me, it was like a work trip, but not a work trip. It was a very mixed thing. So
Yes.
when I was in Peru, I had the chance to talk to them a lot, send them a lot of picture, and they promoted within the company. So it was very nice. It was a very team effort, I would say. Even my fundraising.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds you were so successful in it, and I can see that you used a bunch of different channels to do that, online and face to face, and just being able to chat about it with people and keep it on people's radar. I'm sure there's going to be people at Randstad who wants to go and follow in your footsteps, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because they all thought that with QSO you could only do 3 or 6 months or even a year, but I was like, no, I'm doing 10 days. 10 days.
Yeah.
Everybody, when you enroll at Randstad, when you get hired by Randstad, you get 2 weeks
Hmm.
or it's 3 weeks. So everybody has 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what would you tell somebody who was interested in doing the trek?
I would say first do it. But you need to do it for yourself. If you do it for somebody else, it's not a good idea. But you need to do it for yourself. If it's in your bucket list, it's the best way
Mhm.
to scratch it off your bucket list because
Mhm.
you're helping others. You're gonna see hands-on what Cuso do,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna be so organized, so like the
Motivated.
charity, yeah, and the
Yeah.
charity challenge helps you so much when you get there, and you have to like do you have to prepare like some questions for the guides and all because you're gonna learn so much
Mhm.
about the country, about the Machu Picchu, about everybody that's living there. So there I finished my trip with so many memories, with so many knowledge,
Mhm.
feeling new values, and a different view of the world. So yeah,
Mhm.
everybody
Mhm.
needs to do it. I would say,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm sold.
Exactly. Exactly. Me too. I can't stop talking about it actually. It really is special, but I think you're right is that you do need to have that internal motivation for wanting to do it, and those are the things that are, that motivation are the things that are going to get you through not only the fundraising but the trekking and the high points and the low points, and that's really going to help you be successful in this, because it is a challenge, but it's not a challenge that is beyond most people. So if you're thinking that you're able to do it, you're probably going to be able to do it. Like everybody has any of the times, the 3 times that we've done it, everyone has finished and completed the trek and been really successful. Um, so that's
Yeah, and
awesome.
even if you had like a difficult moment while you're trekking, there's a doctor, so nothing can happen to you.
You're right. That's a really good point. That there is a doctor that comes along on those trekking days with us. So, if there's ever a time when you're not feeling well, or you just want to consult with the doctor, you can do that. I think that's amazing too. It's like another added value, another added service that Charity Challenge provides, in addition to the guides and all of the support that they provide. It's you can really rely on them, and I know I felt really comfortable with the support that I received, and I think having that doctor there also gives you the peace of mind just to know
Yeah.
that there's someone there in case. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she, our doctor, well, you know, Amy, she was wearing jeans. She was very relaxed. She was like, "This is so easy. I'm here for you." But she was talking to everyone.
Hmm.
She was very open-minded. Well, everybody was that way. I think to do a challenge like this, you need to be open-minded. But
Hmm.
everybody, I had the chance to do it with you guys, with the 3 girls of Cuso International. So I had the chance to learn a lot about the organization. But you know, you need to do it. If you're wondering if you can do it, you can do it, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like Mark said, there is some training and some things. You want to get your cardio up. You want to do those kinds of things in preparation. But there's tons of time to do that too, right? We're not going until March this year, so there's plenty of time to do that, and there's also lots of time to get your fundraising done as
Yeah,
well. So as far
exactly.
as
So they're
yeah,
lucky, you know.
it's true. It's true. As far as timing goes, there's lots of time to do it. So that's
Yeah, and the
great.
training is kind of, I don't want to say the training is kind of the hardest part, but you need to be very organized in your training. I didn't trek a lot of big mountains, but I walked a lot. I went to a little mountain that I have near my house, and but I went there like 2 times a week.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I went to Gatineau Park and did hiking. I was walking stairs at my condo building, going up
Yep.
and down. I live on the 8th floor, and I'd go and do the stairs on my walk home every day, and that kind of thing to really boost the cardio side of things.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
it's a good health habit that stays with you afterwards.
that's 100% true, actually. Yeah. I feel like I've tried to maintain that now that I've been back.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're wondering about the food, I just want to say because I thought I would starve there, I never eat it more
It's
than
true.
when I was in Peru of my life. We never ate the same thing, never, unless it's potato soup. but they were very good.
Yeah.
Um, but the food is very good. The people that serve the food, oh my God, they're such a chef.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
What they're able to do like in a camping scenario is just brilliant, and it's, yeah, I agree, it was so good. And like you said, it was 3 courses. Like dinner was
Yeah.
a soup, and then there was 2 other like a main and then a dessert every single night, so we were
Mhm.
very well fed. Yeah, I agree. That's a really good point to bring up, because I think even the challenge before this, we went in 2015, and all I heard from that challenge too, from the participants, was the food was so good. You won't be lacking in food for sure. So, and that really helps when you've been hiking all day, and
Yeah,
you
and
know
they give you
you.
snacks too.
That's
So
right.
I brought so many like Larabar or stuff like that that I didn't even eat one.
Right. Yeah, they definitely help you like keep your strength up and like make sure that you have the nutrition that you need to do
Mhm.
the miles. So that's a really important point. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, so now if people are wondering, let's move on to what the cost is. So this is a question that we get obviously all the time. There's two payment models. So there's 2 ways that we can pay for this challenge. The self-funder model is 26.50, and that, like Mark said, includes everything. So ground transfers, hotel passes to the park, the food, the guides, the doctor, all of the support and everything. The flight is not included, so that is up to you to arrange whether you come early. We did have some people in our group who came a few days early, and then you can decide whether you want to go somewhere else after, go to Lima or some other. There's the Charity Challenge also offers extensions that you can go on as well. So you can arrange the flight that suits you best. And then each participant fundraises. And so with the self-funder model, you would fundraise $2,500, and the tools and support are provided. So I help our trekkers with their fundraising. I can help come up with a plan that you can do to achieve your fundraising goal. There's also the online fundraising page. Like Kate was saying, you can draft your message on your page. People can go to your page and click the donate now button, and they can make their contribution. So that's the self-funder model. And then there's the flexi funder model, which is where you pay a little bit less out of your pocket. It's 16.50. Again, you get everything included: the ground transfers, hotels, the guides, the passes, the all of it. Again, your flight is for you to arrange and pay for, and then you fundraise 4,000. So in this model, you would be fundraising a bit more. And we did have a few people last year. I think we had 3 people last year who did the $4,000 fundraising and had a ball with it, like really even exceeded their goal. So like Kate said, it may look like a big number when you're looking at it on the page right now, but once you get rolling and the momentum kind of starts and you start talking to people about it, people get excited and want to become a part of this, even if they're not able to, maybe they're not able to go on a volunteer placement, or maybe the challenge isn't right for them. But this is a way that they can support our organization and support you in doing this and having this really amazing experience.
And it's
So
very
that,
doable.
yeah, the fundraising part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think there's certainly strategies that we can use, like what you did, with a combination of face-to-face things and online, sending emails and using social media. There's lots of ways that we can get the message out about the fundraising and motivate people to want to contribute and participate. One of our participants from last year actually used her birthday as an opportunity to fundraise, which I thought was really a smart way to go about it. So she was turning 50 actually, so it was a milestone birthday for her. And then she was also sort of checking this thing off her bucket list, and it all came together in a really great way. She was able to have a party, and people were really supportive about it. So there's many ways that you can kind of attack the fundraising side of it, but know that there are support and tools and things that will help you through it, certainly. I have another question here that says, can you switch between the two? If you start off at Flexi, but you can't meet the target, can you switch to self-funder? This is a good question for Mark. if you're still
Yes.
with us.
So yes, you can switch back and forth. Typically, what we'll do is we we see people in some cases choosing self-funder because they don't think they can raise the amount. Um, so they'd rather choose self-funder, pay a little more out of pocket, and raise less. And then in a lot of cases, they realize that it's a lot easier than they thought it was going to be. They want to save that money out of pocket, and they'll switch over to Flexi. But you can switch either way. Um, it's just a matter of letting us know, and the charity being okay with it. And yeah, it's a fairly simple thing to do.
Great. Awesome. Thank you for answering that. I hope that answers the question. So along the same lines as cost, I do want to know that we do have let you know that there is a special offer on right now. So this is our early bird discount. And so you can use the promo code CUSO200 and you'll save $200 off the challenge cost. So right there, you're going to bring down the amount that you're paying significantly. So spots are filling up. So you can go to cusointernational.org/CUSO challenge and you can find out more information there. There's some frequently asked questions and we're going to post the webinar there and that kind of thing so that you can see that. We also have a video that's up on that page, which I think also gives a really good example of what it's like. You get to see the scenery, you get to see some folks hiking and what it looks like. So you can go there to check out that video also, which I think is interesting if you have an interest to kind of see more and see what it's like. But go to our website and you can register by clicking over to the Charity Challenge website to make your booking. So that's a nice offer that we're offering right now. Now, are there any other questions? I'd like to open it up to the group and see if there's any other questions that we have from anybody. I do have some frequently asked questions and some things like that we can touch on. But I want to make sure that everyone sort of has gotten their questions answered and that sort of thing. Oh, here's another one. What is the typical weather like at that time of year? That's a good question. In March, so we went in October, and I can tell you that the weather was really mixed. So it would be sunny and warm, and then it would be cold and breezy, and then there might be a shower, and then it was sunny again. Because you're in the mountains, it changes quite frequently. So we were equipped with layers and rain gear and all the different weather appropriate items. I don't know if Mark, you have another answer to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're kind of at, depending on when you go. I mean, you're end of March, so you're kind of like it's going to be the same as October. So you're coming out of the rainy, cooler season. October, you're getting ready to go into it. So it's going to be, the sporadic shower. They're usually quite light and quite infrequent, sort of short, cool nights, and fairly nice and comfortable trekking days during the day. So you'll layer up at night. What I did when I went there, I went in the end of April, and it was cool at night, which was nice for sleeping. In the morning, it's cold until the sun comes up. So when you're trekking, you have an extra couple layers on. You end up, after maybe half an hour, you strip them off. And then when you get to lunch, your main bag's waiting for you there. You just offload your stuff into your main bag, and you're good to go until you get to camp. So I would say any time of the year that you trek during the trekking season in Machu Picchu, you're going to want to layer up, and you're going to want to have some rain gear with you at all times. So in the small day pack that you carry while you're trekking, a rain poncho or some kind of a pullover would be something for sure that we'd recommend you keep with you at all times. Oh, me?
Oh, hi. Sorry about that. I was muted. Um, okay, thank you for answering that question. I think that was really good. Certainly, we had our ponchos kind of on and off, and constantly layering and putting things in our backpack and that kind of thing. So definitely was the case. I do have another question here. Do they make coffee in the morning?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, they
Yep.
do.
Kate, are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah, I'm a coffee drinker. They even made me mocha in the morning, so they mix hot chocolate with coffee for me.
Wow.
It was
Special
very
treatment.
luxurious because they come to your tent and they offer you stuff in the
Yes.
morning. So
Yes.
it's a very nice waking.
Yeah,
It's a
it
nice
is.
way to wake up for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd come and they very quietly, sort of, unobtrusively, Mark, time to get up. And you open the zipper of the tent and there's a tray there with like your choice of I think there was some hot chocolate or a coffee and some biscuits. It was
Yeah, and you
amazing.
have a hot water too.
Yeah, it really it was unbelievable. Yeah,
Mhm.
It's
five
definitely
star camping.
it's as 5-star camping, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like glamping. You're very well looked after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have some other really good questions. Is it two people in a tent?
yes, yeah. Everything is on a twin share basis. Your hotel room, your tent. If you'd like to room with someone specifically, you let us know, and we can do that. If you are traveling alone, they would just pair you up with someone of the same sex. If you wanted your own accommodation, then you also can do that. It's called a single supplement. You can make that request, and we could let you know how much that would cost, and then you would have your own tent and your own hotel room throughout the duration of your challenge. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. And then I have a question about, is it possible to fundraise as a couple? So we do have, we did actually last year have some couples that went, and they each had, of course, they each had their fundraising goal, and they ended up having one fundraising page that both of their networks contributed to. So they combined their goal and reached out to their mutual networks and that kind of thing. And we're very successful in that, actually. So that is certainly possible to fundraise together. That's a really good question. Sometimes it's easier to do it with someone as well. Someone can help you to organize an event. If you're going to have a barbecue or something, you're going to have a send-off party or something like that. You can do that together. I have another really good question here. Do most people use hiking boots or walking shoes?
Um, we see both, but we do recommend boots simply because of the ankle support. There's a couple of sections, a couple of declines where you're walking down a little path and it's a bit gravelly. And not only that, it's so easy to turn your ankle over. Um, some of the terrain isn't completely flat. It's going to be, slightly undulating, and it would be, if you think about it, like I've had people that have complained and said, yeah, but you know what? I don't like wearing boots, and I want to wear only walking shoes or hiking shoes. I always say the same thing. I say, if you're comfortable knowing that you spent all this money, all this time and effort, energy fundraising, time from family, time from work, so that you're willing to take the chance of turning your ankle over and ending your challenge, then that's what you're going to do. But I think it's crazy. It's not worth the risk. Wearing a good supported ankle boot is always my suggestion.
Mhm.
It just makes for a better overall experience. And so yes, you can wear either. I would strongly advise that you have some sort of ankle support.
Yeah, we had 3 people in our group actually turn their ankle. They were able to continue to trek with us, but they weren't as happy as they could have been. So turning an ankle is very easy, to have happen. And I think what saved them was that they did have a boot that had a good ankle support on them. So the sprain that they did get wasn't near what it could have been. So having something that does give you the support that you need, I think will certainly protect you and help you to stay healthy while you're on the trail.
Yeah,
Um,
and if you go and if you don't have them and you go, for example, at Mecca, just to not mention it. You need to ask for help. You need to say, I'm gonna do Machu Picchu, and then they're gonna show you some different boots. I'm
That's
pretty sure different
yes.
ones that you were thinking of buying. They're gonna help you.
It's true. I had that same experience. I went in there and told them the first question they asked was, "Where are you going? What are you going to use them for?" And then they literally pulled out shoes that, they know will work for that kind of terrain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I think something waterproof is good too, because there is times when you're going to be out in a shower, so that can also be helpful too if your boots are have that waterproof. It'll just make for a bit more comfortable hike. I had another question earlier about providing an equipment list, and Charity Challenge does provide a really good equipment list. It's very comprehensive, and I can send you the link to that in my email after this presentation. So stay tuned for that. You can have a read of some of the other equipment that you might need. Well, we've come to the end of the hour, and I want to say thank you to Mark and to Kate for joining today. It was really great to talk to you guys, and I hope the listeners got a really good sense of what the challenge is about. Thank you for contributing today.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks for the invite. And people, if you need anything, I know firsthand you have to ask Amy and Mark. You have to ask them. Write to them. Don't be shy. They're going to help you.
Happy to.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, it's true. We're here to help you navigate this, and I know it's a decision that people don't take lightly. It is an exciting challenge, and it's something that will be really life changing. I know it was for me and for Kate. So if it's something that you're interested in, go to our website, check it out, read more there, and send me an email, and I'm happy to answer any specific questions that you might have about the challenge. So thanks everyone for joining today, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks.
Sounds good. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.